What's up guys, Joshua Tubbs here from Customatic. How you guys doing today? So today, I actually took an Uber with all my equipment to go do some filming. So what I love about Ubers is obviously the conversation you end up having with the driver. They're always interested in what you do, and you're always interested in what they do because they usually just do Uber on the side. But when I was in the Uber, the driver noticed my equipment and saw things I had in the bags and the equipment. He said, oh, like, are you a photographer? And I said, no, I do film. So then we started talking about it, and he said, like, how did I get into it? And I told him I took marketing in school and whatnot. And he said, oh, did you go to film school? And I said, no. And we had a conversation about film school and doing film as a full-time career. And I told him that, like, I personally didn't go to film school. I did marketing in school. I taught myself film since I was 14 years old, and then applied what I learned in marketing to myself and my own business to gain clientele and whatnot and get a lot more work done, which worked well for me. But I also let him know, like, I was putting so much work into learning the fundamentals of film and learning film in general from such a young age that the amount of time I put into my film work to learn basically was more than going to film school since I started at such a young age. But then he said, do you think film school is necessary? And that sparked the question for today's episode is film school necessary? And it's a weird mixture I have. Like, I obviously would want to say no because I'm doing well without film school. I do see the importance of going to film school. The main answer I would say is for myself, because of my own experience, is we live in a world that's really about what you can do, not really about what you can prove you know. And what do I mean by that? Like, our grandparents, and maybe even our parents for some of you, but mainly our grandparents and parents, and like before that, the way like the hiring world and the culture was in the job market was, it was about you go to school, you do 4 years, you come out and you show your resume to different jobs wherever you're trying to go into industry, and they take a chance on you. And they say, oh, you went to this school, cool, we could teach you. They see the potential that you can grow into. But nowadays, it's different. You know, people don't just take chances off of you because you went to school. You could go do 4 years and do all this stuff and still not get a job in the field you're doing because you haven't done anything yet. And that's what I really realize is our job market nowadays is really about what you can prove you have done. Not what you can do, but what have you done? Meaning, example, it's me as a filmmaker, you know, going to a client, like let's say me going to a fashion client. You know, they're gonna come to me and say, well, what have you done? They're not gonna ask me what film school I went to. They're not gonna ask me my grades. They're not gonna ask me how well I did in university, college, how well I did in high school. They're just gonna say, have you done a video like this before? And then I show something I did for Old Navy, or I show for something I did for Gap, or Harry Rosen, or something along those lines. And then they go, wow, we like this, you're hired. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of how the, I guess, film and creative world works. It's all about what you have done, not what you potentially can do from what you've learned in school. Obviously, different industries depend on it. Here's a quick example. You want to work for PR, right? A PR company. So you go take PR in school and public relations. That's great. But the way the world works nowadays is you might not necessarily get hired off of what you did in school or get the position you want. But if you go and create your own business for PR, you get like a client, someone that's like an artist, a musician, a creative, whatever. You start working with them and you get them popular, you know, you be a PR agent for them and handle all that work for them. And let's say they blow up, they get bigger, some notoriety, or at the end of the day, you start working on different campaigns. A company might see that and say, hey, we want to hire you because of the work you've done. Or you approach the company and you show them the work you've done in a portfolio and say, this is what I've done for someone already, and then they want to hire you. So I've really seen that this world is really about, it's what you can do and what have you done. Especially for the creative world right now, it's not about really, I think, what you know and what you've learned in school. It's about what you can show you have done. This world is really show and tell. And I've been like that all my life. And I think if you're gonna be in this industry, or if you're gonna be in any creative industry, I think it's gonna really be about you proving what you have done already, not about you showing what you have learned and you possibly can theoretically do. So is film school important? I think film school is important in the sense of if you are planning to be just working on sets and an employee and you need to learn and you have no access to learning at all, or you really want to make, but which is not, doesn't really make sense because with the internet, everything's online. Like this channel is dedicated to teaching you about filmmaking. There's other channels all over YouTube that teach you about filmmaking. I learned all my filmmaking from the internet, from being 14 years old online, searching, buying my first camera, practicing, trial and error. I'm a person that just likes to do, meaning that, you know, when I wanted to start filmmaking, I didn't say, because I did marketing school, I was thinking about going to film school after I finished my marketing degree and say, hey, maybe take a year in film school. But I was like, I already started filming at that point, I started doing some stuff, and I was just like, let me just do what I can do and put it out there and see how people react to it. At the end of the day, like, I do believe there's a set time to learn, but then after a while, I do believe that learning becomes a thing that you learn by experience. When a baby needs to learn to walk, a baby doesn't want to go to school. A baby doesn't go to school for 6 months or go to school for 4 years to get a degree and learn the anatomy of walking. A baby basically just tries to get up and falls down. Tries to get up and falls down. Takes one step, falls down. Takes two, falls down. But eventually the baby gets it, and that's all from experience and trial and error. And I believe that the world nowadays is exactly like that. You just gotta get out there and do. That's the most important thing. Do what you can do. Practice, trial and error. Be a practitioner of what you're trying to do, and eventually you will learn. Film school, again, it's up to you. It's at what you think is great for your career. You know, you might need to learn another skill. You know, it could be maybe you want to learn computer sciences and coding and things like that, and then you can learn film on the side and then bring those together. But if you don't think the infrastructure is there for yourself to learn, and you're a different type of learner, you're maybe not a self-learner and you need to go there, I think the option's there for you. But I think film school is really about the connections you make there and meeting other people within. That's the most I think you could take from film school, is not just what you learn, because you can learn that now almost anywhere online, but I feel like it's really about the connections you make there. You're meeting people that are going to be in the industry. That's invaluable. You know what I mean? A lot of times when you do things on your own, meeting people is like the hard part, because now you got to get out there and meet people and find other filmmakers and stuff, and people that do sound editing, and people that do cinematography, and people that do directing or whatnot. But when you're in school, you're meeting all those people already. So, and question, personally, because of me, I would say I don't think it's that important, especially because the current state of the job market nowadays is what you can do. And as long as you are talented and you have learned the fundamentals, you're good to go. You know what I mean? So I think you can get away without doing film school. Again, there's also different industries where you need to go to school for, right? But again, when it comes strictly to film, is film school important? Yes and no. It depends on who you are and the type of person you are. Personally, for myself, I didn't need it, you know, but I did spend hours and hours and years of time to teach myself film before anything. So keep that in mind, all right? So I hope that helped you guys out today. If you're planning on going to film school or thinking about it, or you're not too sure where to go after, I hope this conversation helped you, because, you know, I'm out here working full-time doing strictly film, you know, and I'm living my life. I'm happy. So you guys can do it. It's possible for you without film school. But again, it's just the type of learner you are. And again, it's just all about you, your personal thoughts, the personal way you learn. Film school could be the answer for you, could not be. And there's a lot of people like me online that are here to give you information and help you through DMs and things like that. So if you ever have questions, don't be afraid to DM me at Instagram at customatic, or shoot me an email, info@customaticonline.com. All right, I hope you keep feeling more with digital content. My name is Joshua Tubbs. And remember, if you didn't film it, boy, it didn't happen.